What's going on, everyone? Jhet Burkhart here, and today I'm going to be going over how I hunt a tree row. The tree row I'm talking about today, it's going to have like cottonwoods in it, elm trees. There's not any cedars or anything like that, so it's not too thick. This time of year it does look real thick, but obviously as the fall gets here, these leaves are going to fall off. The deer are not going to want to be bedding in something like this, unless maybe in the rut when you get a buck that pushes a doe or something into it. But we're talking about a pretty bare tree row that's got cropland around it. So the way I look at it, the first thing is going to be, is there any houses or roads around? If there is, I'm going to try to get my stand as far away from those as I can, for obvious reasons. Obviously a house is going to have people, that's going to scare deer. Roads, it's just nice to get away from those. You don't have a bunch of traffic driving by. The next thing I'm going to look at is if there's any bedding close by. On this piece there is, so one end there's a road, the other end we've got some nice bedding. So we're going to try to stick our stand as close to that bedding as we can without harming the deer a whole lot. And what I mean by that is you don't want to get tucked up right in the corner where if your wind is blowing back and forth, those deer are going to be able to catch your wind as soon as they step out. You want to be off that bedding a little ways, whether it's 50 to 100 yards, to give them time to come out, feel comfortable. If they're with a doe, let them walk by you before they can even get your wind. So that's one thing to think about. You also just want to look around and see where the deer like to move. If there's a nice trail going through the middle of the tree row, you might not want to put your stand right on top of it. You want to stay off of it a little bit. You don't want your footprints all around that trail, and you don't want to just be right on top of them. So figure out your access to the tree stand. I know during the evening sits, you probably don't want to walk right up down the tree row. You want to stay out in the field, whereas the mornings you probably want to come in tree row side and get to your stand and stay out of the field, because they're going to be feeding out in the field at night. So that's another thing to think about, is your access. That's a pretty important one. The next thing I look at is if there is crops around, pay attention to what those are. So for this set here, there's soybeans on one side and corn on the other. So the soybeans are going to get hit quite a bit early season. Once they get cut, they're probably going to transition over into that corn later in the season. So make sure you can shoot on both sides if you have permission. Pay attention to that as well. You need to know where your boundaries are for what you can hunt. But like I said, if you're able to shoot both ways, clear out a lane, be able to shoot on both sides. Don't handcuff yourself to just one side if that's available. So those are some of the important things I look at. Like I said, when I'm out hunting a tree row, I know a lot of times it just looks like nothing, and it looks like not a place where deer want to be, but in the end it can produce some great deer and great opportunities. So if you guys have any questions or anything about hunting tree rows, be sure to let me know. But I'm going to try to get a little deer work done this evening, and hopefully start getting some good pictures and start making a game plan for the fall. So I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned for more videos coming up.